up.
Really felt like the VP evolved with those, especially CT side gamble stacks out of spawn. And now we see them leave B side completely open.
A full armor buy with the exception of Hooksy dropping that P250 over and getting them out mid with smoke flash. G2 take red room slow. The bomb outside of B. Look at this gamble.
It is crazy, isn't it? 4 strong over towards A. And they will be pulling a second player over towards red room. Oh dear, this looked like G2 were going to make the perfect count out of this A stack. Ooh. But they've been shut out of red. Nico crept through. Sees him in the corner. B is empty. And so these B players for G2 are going to start to get this info. Nico's been able to slip on past. But the thing is, they're waiting for Nico on this position.
And they just can't believe it that no one is there.
It's crazy.
Right?
They're all kind of freaked out.
You see, like they've checked everything and they still don't believe it. And at this point, VP has checked A main. Fame is pushing on the flank, and we'll see. Still a tough situation for G2.
They think Nico's still in red. They don't know he's crossed through this smoke, so they're baiting in for him. He has to check the corner. He will. Traded. JKS trying to fall back, stall it out. Dink on Jame. One late flank on ramp from the A main push. It's Fame with dual Berettas. A shot in the right place for Hooksy. Almost finishes the captain. JKS is a dead man running, and Fame will convert Hooksy now with the bomb in his favor and no kit against him. I think he can win this. The low health player sticking, but VP provide the cover. They take headshots galore, but they still come through with the round.
Unbelievable scenes here. VP able to recover that. A bloody skirmish over towards red to open this up. One that VP felt like they'd done enough in. Nico was able to slip the net, but only good for that 1 kill. And then it was this late lurk that really did him in, right?
But it just took them so long to even aggress on A. Like, again, it's another case. It's like how VP won that round where they were 4 pit and Nico planted B. It's like, yeah, VP win, but they make it so hard for themselves, it feels like. Sure, they're playing for the chance that G2 do overcook it and walk out A main, but they have so much info. They see Nico's trying to go B, and they still hold A with 4. Every risk. But again, B is free.
Plant's not down yet. G2 is still scrapping here. But the bomb eventually crosses in. This is a little claustrophobic right now for G2. They kind of want more space than what they've got. And the smoke over towards long was feeling like it was going to make life awkward for them. Monacy's been able to pick up Norbert around the outskirts of the smoke, and now JKS making plays, pushes around the long side, and is able to lock them out with 3. So in an instant, Justin throws the hammer down, and G2 have run away with that round.
That was actually, wow, that's a flawless round from G2, and that was a really nice round. And you could see actually the perfect timing that they themselves created, right? Because they're making it look like they want to take mid control. They're putting pressure, causing rotations, and you can see the rest of the team was crouched on ramp. I can't remember. I think it was Mir who was long for VP. He even shoulder peeks one last time before he rotates to make sure, you know, that it's not just a fake, and that just buys enough time for G2 to scale into the site, and by the time he's back, they're already too far up. He needs to wait for his teammates. G2 can... And G2's execute was also, there's a second wave of utility, the deep CT smoke, understanding they need to take more space because defending a retake would be hard if they don't do that. And just a great call, great execution from G2. Important round.
So I don't even think we need to bring up how VP have looked to invest here. Because they're probably going to win the round anyway.
No, this is great. I'll tell... This is great because when you're broken to 1400, right? If you just spend all your money, then your first buy is not ideal. You have 4400 plus a kill. If you leave a little bit of money, Jame is leaving more because he wants the op and the armor. The rest of the players, they want to have an incendiary. So really, it's more of an eco than it is a force. And I think actually, at the start of the game, you have to do it like this. Because those buys with 4400 are just really, really poor. And in reality, with this force, you're denying yourself perhaps a nade. You know, if you buy a P250 or a 5.7 and small armor, that means like don't buy the smoke, or buy a deagle and a smoke, don't buy armor, right? It's not ideal, but I think it's better to take that hit in the force than in the actual gun round.
Yeah, and I think to VP, I guess, more than most other teams, and that's saying something, the kit is like very important because a second is super valuable to this team, especially with how late they like to play their retakes. So the extra cash is appreciated here. Now, where things could get weird is if they decide to throw too much money in this upcoming round. So I'm pretty excited to see what they decide. I'm assuming that they just play around the Mag-10 and the Deagle.
Yeah, I think here maybe you see Mir invest into another pistol, something along those lines, or Jame drops his deagle to
I'm just
someone.
on the edge of my seat because I know that that's what should happen. But it's about, will that happen?
Eternal Fire. B-Stream update, Hugo.
Pretty sure
Hit us with it.
that was the sound of Eternal Fire 2-0 in this series. That's what it sounded like.
So 9 lost Vertigo.
9 potentially, in fact, factually have lost Vertigo. That is confirmed. Eternal Fire 209.
This is the most standard economy we've had from VP in the series. They've played it all fine in the opener.
Wow.
No weirdness to begin this third map.
But it's CT side, so that's where you kind of have to play a little more standard with the money.
On Inferno, we saw them also toy around with that, but
yeah.
I think that's mostly because it's second half and they sort of know how many rounds they need. I think for G2 it's important for this round to be as clean as possible, right? You want to create a buffer for yourself if you do get some bad reads, and VP do gamble correctly in some of the stacks, so that doesn't cause you to really have to play with pistols.
Nice exit. Nice execute for G2. Bubble in the throat.
That was the craziest bubble throw I've ever heard you get,
Yeah,
man.
I need to...
Those throws.
This baseline is precious.
There you go. That was Golem's brother.
Deagle.
Deagle. Oh, yeah, he actually does have one.
Well, I'm not sure they were brothers, Harry. They were close, though. Almost as close as you and Hugo.
Oh.
But not quite.
But not quite. I'm not sure anyone can be.
Oh.
And Monacy dies.
Me and Hugo would have shared the one ring.
Yeah, we have slightly different girths, though. So
I don't want to imagine how, but okay.
So here we are, VP.
What happened on that B stream, I wonder?
This is what happened.
This is straight from the pipeline, Harry.
This is straight from it.
Cast it, Harry.
Oh, damn. I don't want to cast.
It's already
this
happened.
one. This is
Xantares now creeping up close. He gets the first, gets the second. Will he get the third in clutch? Yes, it's a win for Eternal Fire. 16, 11. They take down 9 on Vertigo. What a feat from Eternal Fire in that mid bracket.
Incredible play-by-play, Anchor. We're gonna channel that this map, this half even. I'm gonna call it. We'll wait till G2 are in a power position. Right now, still defaulting. Monacy boosted. Jame patient. The doctor looking to dish out a prescription. He gets flashed off though. They saw him on that jump across, so he's got to go CT for a new angle. He will try and he will get denied. Smoke, molly, smoke. Everything thrown at this A site except G2. They're still staggered in main. With Nico hoping for an aggressive B take. VP, aggressive B take, not in their repertoire. So it will have to be a rotation for G2. Back round the other way. And maybe a late execute. Nico jumping and spotting, sees him on long. This B hit feels inevitable. VP know it's coming. They've even taken mid to fast flank heaven. Don't go too soon. But if Mir can find that sweet, sweet timing, he might kill the captain. Hooksy dies unbeknownst. And JKS, lone lurking main. This is a really awkward position for G2.
Yeah, this one is kind of odd. You know, JKS is going to struggle to play another round. They could try ducking out and going A, but this leaves them having to get past Fame, and they've got to check for him, and they don't check for him. And now the bomb's dropped. Jame rotates in.
It's done.
Bomb out in the open, and no chance. Yeah, the tag slowed him down too much. And so there simply isn't time.
If he didn't turn around, I mean, there is a world.
I think he got tagged. That slowed him down, and then...
It was the tag.
But I have to say, that was pretty brilliant from VP, how they handled that round, right? Because James sees m0NESY with the op and then hangs around for a little bit, falls back. So you know they're really close. G2 even threw some of the utility, but VP didn't flinch. Jame even rotated straight to mid, and just the timing for them to re-aggress mid, it was so quick, so fast. It was the perfect call, and G2 did as good as they could, but VP was just better in that round.
Hoopsy tries his hand at the opener. In behind him's Hunter, who spammed through the window smoke. And so this one has not gotten off to a good start for G2. 3v5 straight away. And a tenuous grasp over mid at best. It's not even like they get real estate for these two deaths. JKS has to go back and grab the bomb as well, so all they're left with is this quiet walk up the B ramp.
Nico's through it though. You can actually hide in that smoke while they clear it with a flash. They won't know, and Nico can just walk through whenever he gets that feeling.
It's not like super uncommon to spam this, so I'm nervous for Nico to a certain extent, but they're holding their nerve on this.
They're waiting the fade. Double cave and long scope on the cave side. And they're even checking it. Molly's a problem. It's really all on Norba right now. He's locked in tight on the right side of long, and Nico has to clear this corner or they're in a world of trouble. But there's a crossfire. There's the trade. The bomb makes it in, but it might not make it much further. Big frag for Justin as m0NESY won't cover. Goes back to play the post plant. 2 on 3. VP with double cave and G2 no.
Very claustrophobic sight hold here. You are boxed in. You are vulnerable to pre-fires. If you're G2, they've got to be swift in these reactions. But James swings it early, very early, in fact, and that gives JKS another half the time ticked off this bomb already as Mir shows his hand up through ramp, but he can't attempt this anymore. So it is a successful turnaround there from G2. JKS and m0NESY bring the goods. And then they bring the energy. Yeah, damn.
That was really poor by VP. I mean, they did such a great job in the previous round, and here now that they were in a 3v2, really, I mean, first to be in a situation where you have no one coming from CT, right? Like someone should have gone there, and then why is Jame playing first with the op crawling out of cave? That retake just wasn't really executed well at all. Mir made himself known by spamming through wood, right? And JKS is just holding ramp. And that was a 3v5 from G2, if you remember.
Yeah, it started with that really nice double over in mid. You kind of felt like VP had already done all the legwork there. All right. They seem aware, don't they? If you're Hunter, you're so nervous. That nade goes off and you know that they know where you are.
Hero gun though. G2, if they want, they can just avoid it, go quick into this B bomb site. It's getting blocked though.
This is getting tricky though. I mean, losing one player, there's more spots open. Being on pistols, VP takes some more risks. If they get good timing to push A main, they can rotate back into position for this B hit.
It's begun. Fame is on that flank. And a second AK given over. They're trying to time the spam. Bad long smoke thrown in as well. Gives a gap. It's only pistols. What could go wrong, right? There's the rifle swinging with, and the P2 finds a kill. This spacing is poor, and they are going to get isolated. G2 iced out right now in a 2v4, but JKS is not missing a beat. Second headshot. He already picked that last round up. He's going to go for it again in the clutch up with Hooksy.
Oh, this is going to be close because straight up ramp, he's got to turn and he's not looking. First shot misses. JKS dead. Now Hooksy's going to fly solo. First kill found for Hooksy. Two more players looking to greet him over at long, and even more damage done from the captain as he goes back for more. Near taps him out of the round, and so Virtus.pro on their hero gun round managed to battle back G2 down in the dumps after successfully turning round a 3v5 in the last. This one up against the pistols, up against this one gun, gets away from them. And even though JKS and Hooks, you feel like they did all they could there, it was just a round that was too far gone.
Twice now, Famous won this off of an A main push flank through T-spawn.
Hooksy dinked him through his teammate or through the wall?
I think through the wall.
That was wild.
Yeah, a big Mir multi as well. He saves that AK, finds the opener, gives a gun over, and then goes on to hit that very important final headshot. Oh, yeah, through the wall. Yeah. That hurts. Imagine
Also,
that's
whoever missed that smoke is gonna get hell in VOD review. Hooksy?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
He threw it. I saw him, yeah, he threw it on the fly. He just threw it from cave
okay.
when he saw that player back off.
And then the scaling wasn't great, you know, Nico going in alone, then Monacy sort of alone, and VP bounces back. And G2, this is a very important round for them. They spend all their money to buy here. They got mid control now, pretty easily.
They keep getting up red. Looking for a different result this time, though. Norbert just guarding with Jame. VP have had a tendency to really lean out of that B bomb site, be it one player or no players, in many rounds. It might pay off. Hooksy's desperately looking for an entry kill. Did they spot him? Maybe. Monacy misses that re-aggress timing in middle. He would have had a kill right there. Hooksy needs to take it instead. Norbert walks in, and Hooksy hits that spray. Orb trying to trade. Hooksy falls. 4-on-4. Jame goes B, and that's exactly where G2 are ending.
All right. G2 just got told to go. And he comes through ramp. Yeah, he really did. And so now they're in the site. Smoke's down to cut this AWP out somewhat. Little gap for Jame to look through. No, a pretty big gap at that, actually. But they still get away with the plant. These retakes from VP have often been pretty slow. They're going to wait for this flank to come in. One kill from James Orb. That gives them enough of a nudge here. JKS, this guy's been fantastic. It's going to have to be another big post plant from him. Hunter will nail the shot to Fame flanking, and now Justin's got support from Hunter back in the cave. They're able to fight this long player together, and for Jame, there's not a way back in. He'll get out of there. G2, an immediate response to that one round that VP put up with the pistols. As this back and forth game continues, G2 will get to maintain this lead.
JKS is hitting everything in these B sites.
He knows his ancient.
That's true. We've trained him well. Chad will be proud right now in the green room. Chad will
he'll
be
finish
very
a whole
happy.
day pracking, and then he'll queue 6 more ancients in the night time.
Oh, wow. The turnaround from Hunter was sick there. I thought Fame was going to have that round.
It's been the flank king.
I love the Hooksy scream on his teammates to go.
Yeah,
because
that was...
you could see it from our POV. He was 100% right, and I love it because those rounds are a matter of timing. He understands they're re-aggressive. Okay, they're probably weak on the sides. Just go, guys. Screw the smoke. You know, you're gonna trade, and that's a sort of a mindset and philosophy a team has about rounds. You know, if we die to this, we're fine with that. But we need to take advantage. We can't just let them block us with utility while they're making moves. You know, we have to punish them.
No, it was.
And sure, Nico sort of died easily, but you know, the team got the bomb down 3v4, and they stepped up in the clutch. They bring it back again. Still, money is there for VP to buy. Jame on the op.
G2 certainly looks like the more comfortable team on this map right now. Sure, they're getting to dictate the flow on the T side, but VP have been, you know, gambling wrong. Had a couple of nice flanks. Haven't really had any multi-kill anchor moments. They're not really playing in the bomb sites. Been mid-re-aggress that has netted them most of their kills on CT. But G2 keep getting these 2v4s and 3v5s to look really interesting.
See, the bomb is next to JKS, so this smells of sort of a faking that they're doing the same thing and then just turn it around, and it is a delayed donut take.
Pussy's been fine just leading in on his own, never with a teammate to trade him. They fake the donut take, they go back to a BXX. 40 seconds to do so. G2 poised to pop. Deep smoke thrown.
They'll get blocked on ramp as well by Norbert.
Yeah, Norbert still has his. He's been jiggling with it this whole time. This is a problem for G2. They're going to have to play through one of these smokes at least.
Yeah.
As that ramp one goes in now, cave space is at least given over for free. VP don't try and fight for that. So G2 have got a bit of leverage out through cave. Norbert is really tunnel visioned on those cave fights, and so is exploited up the ramp. G2 have got this round in the bag. As long as they don't lose anyone over the next few seconds, VP will save. There's no one even in position to punish.
I'm so surprised Norbert commits to fighting cave there instead of ramp, because he has the cover of the pillar. He can back up to the pillar, play in the open, watch the ramp smoke. He knows they're coming ramp. He just heard them pin nades, like 2 guys pin nades outside of ramp. And even though, yeah, he is being chased from cave, like you've got to pick a 50-50, surely you pick the one where you have cover behind you to actually isolate ramp fights. But because that's a kill that makes all the difference, right? You take one more with you, suddenly VP might be thinking about retaking this round. You know, once in a blue moon. But no kit and a man down certainly won't give it a look. 6 on this T side of G2.
I mean, it was a bad spot for Norbert regardless.
Yeah.
That smoke, you can't just leave him alone with the smoke. If they're going to come B, they'll come through the smoke with that little time. And the help came in late and there wasn't much help either. So wouldn't have made a big difference, I don't feel like. And I think, for example, here I would call an A rush or something from G2, but then again against VP, you can't really play it like against other teams. You almost have to keep playing slow.
And they've started like 3A so many rounds, including here, if you count this double donut boost up. They've not like come through red instantly off spawn. So more often than not, they are stacked on this side of the map. I like the boost, but they've got to get off it. Oh, they hit JKS close. He's right there. And they line up. They'll take that kill and get out of dodge. Fame low. A re-swing for Mia, trying to bail his teammate out, but just digs that grave deeper. Flitz on a big flank. This is early. This is a nice play. But again, it might not matter if G2 can get smokes, and they only have 1 smoke, though. And do you really clear this? Jame dodges death. And Hunter flanks A, but there's no one here. The bomb's going back. The bomb can go through Donut.
They can like fully bypass each other, and G2 can still get out of this.
G2 have won the round.
Feeling
They've won
like
the round.
bandits, but
Calm down.
Fame could rob it.
Oh, I've lied.
Fame could ruin
G2
it.
have won the round.
Hooksy was holding it, but he just looks away. And so that's the bomb now dropped in mid. Suddenly VP know ahead of time what's happening. Fame's back in main, ready to be a pain again, and Hunter trying to shut him down, closes the distance, but the smoke goes in. And so they lock him out of it at least. Flit dead over in Donut as Hunter leaps and bounds around this A site to try and make the round happen.
Don't play the Jame game. I love it. Don't play the Jame game. Save.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the guys who died were equaling. I mean, outside of Mir, maybe. I think he had a saved gun, but here they're just going to play for next. It was unfortunate. I mean, they had the flank, they had some good timings, but that gap on middle.
That was, yeah, terrifying. That turn from Hooksy, just looking away from bottom mid.
And also, maybe, you know, you would criticize Mir for the peak, but I don't really mind it. You know,
his teammates getting
some guys don't have guns, you don't have armor. If he swings and wins that fight, it's a 5v3, and then you can really, you know, you're really in a good position.
His opponent's also like mid-spray, so there's a good argument to be made for swinging into that and hoping he can't correct it. Mid-take, proper mid-take, missed Molly, but G2 just storm B, what a call. No one here, Nico gets the kill, and that's I mean, the only reason you wouldn't save immediately is because Flit's quick. Look at how quick Flit is. It's not a Dr. Seuss book, but he is in cave right behind him, and Jame can't escape the spam. That will signal the end. Maybe they can get the orb.
This introduces a kind of interesting problem, right, to VP, who up until this point have kind of been allowed in the early stages of the round, because of how G2 are playing quite slowly, to not have many players over towards B, to not have to throw too much util down range to stop these rushes. G2 now hit them with one of these up-tempo ramp rounds, in which they found out there was like no one here. This was basically free. So surely VP have got to start dedicating more manpower over towards that B site, towards the tail end of this game.
I think Hooks is calling a great game right now as well. They got mid a couple of times because VP wasn't really fighting for it. They were giving it to them, and then this is what VP was playing against for a couple of rounds, right? And G2 was getting mid and abusing that, and VP, you know, has to change really at some point. They want to fight for mid, and that's when the rush call comes in. Nico with a quick entry, and that's pretty much it.
Ooh, best mid spawn on Hooksy, and he looks like he wants to take it. Slows down a little as the flashes stream over. There's this boost in the donut again. Second man has started off over at B, and this time is trying to be a little more aggressive. Flit is actually throwing in the cave smoke, and so is playing pushed up in the cave. Not something that VP have had all too much. Hooksy is dead here as he's baited in. Mir and Fame over in Donut play this buddy system again, and this time it works wonders.
They know they've got them still trapped double donut. Hunter, he wants to play late, but he's in the smoke. The timing is already decided. His team won't be able to do too much to help him just yet. He's got to take one. Fame will not allow it. And some good positioning in Donut. A good bait and switch for VP has put them in a 5v2 fake on the bomb, and you're not going to get any more chances as VP close the gap. They're flashing back in. They're pushing together in Donut and Monacy. You get one shot, and it's not enough. Surely not. As they run him down, even VP will cool off. Wait for that. A main flank. Monacy is a little monster, but winning a 1v5, not on James' watch.
Starts 30 seconds, trying to find them on the jump checks, trying to get the info. He really was believing as he...
To the 4 of VP. And worth noting, it's 4-7 in... Oh wait, I'm doing the maths wrong. It's 4-8 in opening kills in favor of VP in this map.
That's wild.
Something to keep in mind when you think about all these 2v4s, 3v5s G2 have made very convincing.
Over in mid, another opener.
Lovely.
Mir with a double spray down is swung on by JKS. Nico never even needed. Woo! Monacy's feeling it after his go.
Another example.
Last round, quick flick on a Jame. We'll find him on the long side. Now there's one more at long. Surely Monacy's not ready for a second. Hell, what about a third? VP have got everyone around at this B site. So as G2 bring that bomb in, they're going into the stack. Monacy still racking up bodies. G2 send their attack dog down the long side. Monacy. He will be leaving his teammate alone, but that tick in the molly for Norbert seals the deal, and Monacy is there to lock them out of the close. Sure, he might not have won that clutch attempt, but does it feel like it's kind of brought him online, switched him on? I think so. He's suddenly throwing himself into every one of these gunfights, and look at how clean they look.
Ilya the king right now. Quick with it. And the energy has been there all map long for Hooksy, for G2. And the rounds are starting to build a mass on this T side. 9-4. VP. They've played a great game, but Monacy has had enough.
They've woke him up.
He's plugged in into the Matrix.
You never wake up the young god. That's the first rule. VP didn't get the memo. And now on their heads be it. Hooksy even joining the fray, throwing his own hat in the ring here.
And look at Monacy and Eco. They're still in their default sort of spots, and it's going to be tough for VP to save these guns.
Jame lies in wait for Monacy.
James should get this. Should. Won't.
That's
Right,
even
I
that's
peek.
insane. You peek the AWP, set up on the angle, knock it out. Monacy's hunting with an AWP to give you an idea of like where his headspace is at. Now he could lose it to the MP9, or he could go what and just slam down the last guy. Norbert dead. Monacy's entered full god mode, and G2 reached double digits.
Put them in playoffs. Lock it in. Cologne champions and EPL as well in the crosshair for G2 Esports. Certainly in fighting.
It is crazy how good he is when he's on point. Like, and the movement, and obviously the speed, the flicks,
the lettuce, the tomatoes,
the sauce,
The sauce.
the grilled cheese.
Oh no!
dear. Okay, VP getting aggressive. Yeah, it only took 15 rounds, but I'm here
Only
for it.
took 2.5 maps, and here we are.
Oh my god, Nico should be dead.
How is he? How is he?
Just walked past
Yeah,
him.
He's past everyone.
They saw
The
him.
entire enemy
They
team.
saw him.
Ah, they're touching each other. Nico.
And he swapped.
And
No.
of course, he's wrecked him.
It's scripted right now. And they planted A, by the way. You might have
And the
missed that.
bomb's down,
And it's 11-4. Probably.
We can say whatever we want. This CT side, VP was like making economy decisions that made a lot more sense. They're going to be down 11-4.
Yeah.
Wow. Good
So,
point.
for better or for worse, James' theorem.
James' theorem, and we have more maths and economics coming up in the second half. Both sides, Cadian nails the shot. 3 kills from the captain.
Oh dear, VP. They didn't heed the warning, and now G2 are all fired up and feeling good here on the third and final map. 11-4 at the end of the first half. And that was with Modesty going full Goblin mode right near the end.
Ooh, ghoulish.
Goblin.
I think it was really good calls from Hooksy too. Understanding, you know, how they were winning rounds and what the reactions from VP might be. And of course, the players stepped up in some big moments. They won a 3v5, a 2v4. Actually, a 3v5 became a 2v4.
Same thing. And still, somehow, VP may find a way.
No.
That's what this team brings
No,
you. You
you
can never
don't-
doubt them
you
out.
can't actually
oh,
think
you're
that.
you're doubting them. You're doubting Virtus.pro. Watch this. Empty a bomb site. Virtus.pro will walk right in.
Yeah, put some respect on his name. Hooksy, let's go, buddy. He's been having a good tournament as this guy and has been cooling well today. Smoked off at the spawn, so that's the end of him for now. But we'll revisit it later. JKS might get flashed through the donut smoke here. That seems to be the decision. VP don't have any eyes on it yet, but they will establish them pretty quickly and look to lock this down. Just Monacy, 1v5, attempt, 1 kill. Any more? Monacy, let's go. 1 on the way there. And that's the end of the line. As VP find themselves a pistol, and now they've got some pep back in their step.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. You know. They're not in a hurry, Harry. That's the key. They're going to take their sweet time.
Dude, is everything just a joke to you?
Yeah, kind of.
Not everything, just you, Harry.
Oh, okay.
Well, he said that, not me.
Well, that's fair, I guess.
For our counselor, for our marriage counselor, Yanko, you're doing a shit job.
How does that make you feel, Harry?
That's what we pay you the big bucks for. Alright, scout for Monacy. Let's see what he can do with this. I really liked what we were getting out of him down the tail end of that rather sick T side offered up by G2. But right now, VP, they're waiting. And maybe later they'll wait some more.
They're in their cube setup. Just holding for pushes.
They are pepless.
This is why I say doing nothing is also a risk. Like they waited for a push and now they're taking mid control, but look at the smokes on the side of the CTs. There's still 4 left, so they can really block them well. We'll see. It's going to be all down to JKS here.
Ooh, smoke goes down.
God. Hang on. The smoke in the way is a problem for VP. They think, oh well, surely they don't have many more. That's where you'd be wrong. G2 pulling up with the smoke. They know what's good.
Smoking that donut pack.
And now they're trying to figure out, do we want to go, do we want to go back? Seems like they want to fake going back and still go A. Hooksy has a smoke in cave.
It's down now.
This is a great call, actually.
And G2 are rotating despite the smoke. They're starting to doubt it. Mir's going to begin to run. JKS needed that kill. It had to be the first domino. Now none of them will fall. Only G2 crumble inside of the site. Scout does connect, and maybe we're cooking. Nico flash back in for a little bit more, trying to take a bite back in this round as G2 attempt to force by 1-on-1, and Nico wins it for G2. That was not meant to be. And VP gets snuffed out on their ante.
That's a good feeling if you're G2 to grind their way back into that round. I mean, especially considering, you know, VP did a very good job of making it awkward, of having you kind of write the round off, right?
Oh.
That's all, Nico. I want to see as they move in together on that retake. Good damage, landed downrange from the scout, softening them up, giving Nico an easier time. And damn, VP, the problem's going to start right away in this second half.
First timeout used. They didn't even pop one on that CT side despite the amount of rounds that G2 managed to put together. VP, a team that really make use of their timeout, so that's surprising to see.
Yeah, you feel like maybe would have been good to take a timeout after losing some of those clutches, right? Just to...
They were very early in the half as well.
Cool off a little bit. But here they're trying to figure out the money situation. They want to buy to get the reset back. I feel like they have to you know, coming back on the T side from being down 13-5, really, it's very, very extremely difficult, actually. So they would really need to win this round, and that's why the timeout is there. Who's going to drop? Who's going to buy the rifle? Who buys utility? And what do we want to do?
Who's going to carry the boats, Yanko? That's what everyone's asking.
The boat?
The boats.
Yeah, wait.
Don't worry.
What?
You don't need to get everything, Harry.
I mean, I want to get it now. I feel like we've drawn so much attention to it.
Too late. 12-5. Those boats will remain at the port. Anchored down. You guys cool, or?
I don't know how to follow up the vote thing. Right,
everything's hunky-dory right now.
Hunky-dory.
Hey.
G2.
Nice.
All right. Hooksy, little jiggle. And he's seen a couple of cavemen. Nico here to show him that fire exists. He lights them up. Norbert dead on the retreat back. One man did manage to make it through. Speaking of making it through, all the way through this window in mid. Mir might be able to do something here. Hooksy made one step too many, and now Mir knows. And so even as Hooksy moves in, checking his corners, it's not enough. However, the victory short-lived, as the good ones often are. Nico holds the line for a double, and now it's just Flit. Ooh, he just tries to tuck himself in, but can't escape the terrible twosome. And of course, a brief moment of rain as G2 will rain on VP's parade.
I thought I was going crazy. I'm glad that's not just me.
Hello?
Oh,
Hello.
Hello.
Who's going to carry the boats? and
Stay
the logs?
hard.
They don't know me, son.
They don't know you, Chad.
They don't know me, son.
Stay hard, Chad. And the logs.
What's
Thank you.
happening?
I
don't
love
know
that.
what's
I love that.
happening.
I'm so glad he came by.
There's people who get it in the Twitch chat, so it's just you and me, Harry. We're just dumb.
What is this a reference to?
You'll never know. Not hard enough, Harry. Maybe Yanko can help you out. But VP...
I've never been so lost. I've never felt so out of a joke. What's it from?
Can't Google it now. There's a game.
Hang on.
There's a round on the A site.
All right.
VP executing. JKS waiting.
Monacy spams one out through the smoke. JKS, it's just one off the hold. Ooh. The run through the smoke for Hooksy is punished, but he still gets out with one. He did what he had to do. And so as VP try to plant this bomb, G2 can collapse upon them, and they will. Finished off is Mir at the close, and Hunter closes in on map point for the G2 squad. 14-5, a very dominant third and final map thus far.
Yeah, I'm really liking the fact that G2 is going for some of these faster, so I can't even call them retakes because the bomb isn't down, but not allowing VP to set up, position themselves. You know, it might seem silly what Hooksy is doing, but even a 1-for-1 there is good for G2. It buys time. It, you know, it's much worse for VP to lose a player than for Hooksy to die. They have to cover more angles, just 2 players remaining.
Oh my god, it's a B rush. What is happening?
VP rushing B. That's how you know they're getting desperate at 14-5 in the third map. G2 look for playoff point.
Everyone
stand in their way. The rush into cave is a problem. Hooksy gets overrun and a gun gifted now, but the plant is not for cave. Keep in mind, this isn't a suboptimal post-plant position. They must move through. Fame will, but not to his betterment. And that is it, folks. 15 rounds for G2 as they board a playoffs here of ESL Pro League. VP may have showed up in the series, but they didn't show up on Ancient.
Yeah, that there is like faster than light travel. You know, maybe it's possible, but the human body just isn't cut out for such a thing. VP weren't made to move this fast. And it's a little confusing as they get into the cave. They get kind of bogged down, trapped in. G2 do a great job of not giving up too much room, even as they're trading those kills out over the site. And so for VP, there's no stemming the bleeding here. This one looks like G2 have got more than enough in the tank to long out this series and take it away in the third.
Oh, everyone's there. Such a good flash from Norbert, but still traded. And lane taken back by all of G2. Oh, they've just got 2 lives. No punish. Hunter spams Jame through, and I think we are reaching the natural conclusion of this map. And series. VP, a team hard to pinpoint, that borders somewhere between perfection and confusion. And G2 keeping up their Cologne form to make a swift run into the playoffs of Pro League. But wait, because VP have got the A site.
Oh, the fight over towards B tips the scales into
dear.
the 3v2. Hunter could deny this plant right now, and he will. So there we are. Hunter lines them up. A beautiful sequence out of him to close. And a job well done for G2. They long this out across all 3 maps. They have their best one yet in the third. When Ancient rolls around, you're getting the best mileage out of guys like JKS, Monacy, Hunter having a handful of rounds in there and really firing.